Hi guys, this is Rebecca Sanchez with Endless Hope. I wanted to share something with you today. Happy belated Mother's Day. I didn't put the video out because I knew everybody was going to be busy, but I wanted to share something with you today. In Genesis 3:20, Adam called his wife's name Eve, which means life giver, because she was the mother of all living things. It's interesting to me that the enemy, the devil, he came to Eve, and he starts talking to her. This is how I would put it. It's paraphrased. He started telling her, "Look, Eve, how you doing? Where's Adam?" And he's in the garden again, and he starts talking to her and say, "Hey, what's up with God telling you not to eat all the trees?" And she's like, "No, he just told us not to eat one." And he starts putting thoughts in her mind. And all of a sudden, she starts questioning things that she's always been sure of. She's questioning God's love for her. She's questioning Adam. Where is Adam? Why isn't he home? Why isn't he? And all of a sudden, she starts giving life to these thoughts. And she finds herself doing exactly what God told her not to. And it just didn't affect her, but it affected her family. And see, women, I want to talk to you today how important it is for you to guard your thoughts, to guard your heart. See, because we as women, we are life givers. I like this quote. It's whatever you give a woman, she will make greater. If you give her a house, she'll give you a home. If you give her groceries, she'll give you a meal. If you give her a smile, she'll give her your heart. Whatever you give her multiplies it, and for better or for worse. And see, that's the thing we have to be careful with, women, is that we multiply what we have in our hearts. I was thinking about Silas when he was little. He had decided that he wanted to make the big move to his bedroom upstairs, and he already had fixed it. And me being mama, I was like, I didn't want him to fall down the stairs in the middle of the night. So he comes to me and he says, "Mama, I'm ready to sleep upstairs." I said, "Okay, Silas." I said, "But you'll be back. You're afraid. You won't stay up there." And so he's like, "Mom, I'm going to." I said, "Okay, Silas." So he comes back down a couple of hours later and he's crying and crying. And I go, "Silas, what's wrong?" He goes, "You were right, Mom. You were right." He goes, "I couldn't do it. I was too afraid." And that hit me. That hit me hard because I realized that I put my fear, I multiplied it into my son. And the things that I had in my heart, I passed over to him. And I gave life to it, guys. Do you understand that? We give life to whether it's our frustration, whether it's our anger, whether it's our love, whatever it is we have in our hearts, we give life to that. That's why it's so important for us to guard our hearts, to guard our minds, to guard our thoughts, because the enemy knows that if he can get thoughts into our minds, that we will give it life and it will affect everything that we touch in our homes, in our marriages, in every day, in everything that we do. And I was thinking about this. I'm going to tell him myself. It was Saturday morning, and Mark's been busy doing things, running and club, and so I was making pancake for the kids, and just getting ready. And he walks by, and this thought comes into my head, and this thought is like, there he goes again. He doesn't have time for you. He's probably going to go run, and out of nowhere, I wasn't even thinking about it. So, I was still cooking and stuff like that. And he comes up the stairs and I turn around and he's got flowers in his hands. And he goes, "Happy Mother's Day, baby." And I was like, oh my goodness. But see, my heart was frustration. The enemy brought that into my mind and I didn't even realize, I didn't know what he was going to do. But see, that's why you have to guard your heart. When the enemy tells you, you know what, he's this and he's that, you say, "No, God has blessed me with a wonderful man." And if he's not, you keep speaking life to him. You change that. You speak what you want in your marriage, in your family, in your home, to your children. You start speaking life to them and telling them how wonderful and how amazing. And most importantly, you have to begin to speak life to yourself, mothers,
to yourself, women of God. You have to start speaking life to you. You know, when you get in front of the shower or in the mirror and you get out, you know, I used to look at myself and be like, and now I'm like, you know what? I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. God has made me and he loves me. And I begin to change the way I think and the change. Why? Because I am a life giver. And everything that I do affects my husband. It affects my home. It affects my children. And I have to guard my heart. Not just for them, but first and foremost for me. Because if everything's okay between me and him, then everything's okay between me and my husband and me and my children. And I just want to encourage you today, life giver, start choosing life. Start being a blessing and start speaking to yourself. Speak the words that God speaks to you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God loves you so much. Well, God bless you. This is Endless Hope.